Today, these three best friends went to see the new Paw Patrol movie. Of course, I thought of Summer. It's been 70 days since she went missing, and we're still no closer to knowing the who, what, when, where, and how of her disappearance. Since this case has been on my mind, I decided to break down the 8 core theories about what happened on June 15th based on present information. The details under these umbrella theories aren't meant to be exhaustive, only representative. Within each, there are many possibilities. I've ranked them from least to most likely according to my own criteria: motive, opportunity, length of time missing, search failures, and more. But logic hasn't really applied to this case, and any statistical ranking may prove to be about as useful as a magic 8-ball. With that said, here is the list. Number 8, stranger abduction. The Wells live on 11 plus acres atop a hill, surrounded by dense trees. Given the location and the presence of many dogs in and around the property, I believe stranger abduction is the least likely cause of Summer's disappearance. Number 7, a fatal but not criminal accident, such as choking on food or drowning. There are reasons some people may fear calling the police. They might have been impaired at the time of the accident, or they might dread CPS involvement. Perhaps the body would show signs of other abuse. Number 6, an acquaintance of the Wells family abducted Summer for altruistic reasons, meaning that they believed she was not being treated properly and/or they could give her a better life. Such a suspect would likely be from the area and would probably have let other people know their feelings. And since Summer is so recognizable, she would be hard to hide, whether they remained in the state or not. Number 5, a family member other than the parents did something to Summer, probably accidentally. This would require the collusion of at least 2 adults and possibly one or more of the 3 sons. I believe that kind of collusion is unlikely, particularly when it comes to children. Number 4, the father is responsible. Don would have had to come home at some point in his workday to abduct Summer, possibly leaving his phone at work and possibly driving a different vehicle. Someone pointed out to me that one of Don's arrests was for hot wiring a car. I don't believe that fits in here, so I'll set it aside. But in order to leave work, come home, take Summer, and then return, his actions would have had to either escape the notice of his coworkers or he would have had to have help. Number 3, there was an accident with criminal repercussions. In this scenario, a tragic accident happened, something like a hot car death or an overdose from drugs, which the parents could be held criminally responsible for. This would require the collusion of at least 2, Candace and Grandma, and possibly more. It would also mean that the boys either did not see Summer at home, or they were aware of the accident and, against all odds, kept it secret. The next 2 theories are almost a tie for me. The reason they are in this order is because one has an almost even chance of collusion. Whenever 2 or more people are involved in a crime, the perpetrators are more likely to slip up, leave a trail, confide in someone, or make a deal. With that said, number 2, the mother is responsible. The mother caused Summer's death in the home. In this case, she would have had to hide Summer well enough that search and rescue could not find her. And here's where there's a hole in the timeline. None of us know what time Candace, Grandma, and Summer returned home, but the best estimates I've seen based on various interviews and driving distances is between 2:45 and 3 p.m. After that, groceries were unloaded, laundry was perhaps started, and flowers were planted. If all of that took an hour, or even 90 minutes, and ended between 4 and 4:30, then what happened between that time and the first 911 call, which is thought to have occurred sometime between 6:10 and 6:26 p.m.? Even if the purported timeline was as much as an hour off, bringing the trio home at 4 p.m., and even if we extend the time spent unloading groceries and planting flowers to 1.5 hours, this still leaves a period of at least 40 minutes unaccounted for. This theory would mean that Candace would have had to hide Summer in a place that search and rescue wouldn't find, either before or perhaps during the time she was waiting for the police when she was reportedly out looking. It would mean that she either did this with no one else in the family knowing, or just as likely under this theory, that other family members knew about the act and helped cover up a crime. And here's number one. An acquaintance with ill intent abducted Summer. The Wells property has plenty of places to lie in wait behind any number of trash piles or abandoned vehicles, somewhere in the trees, or even in the dog den that is near the basement. The dogs wouldn't have barked because they knew the person. In this scenario, a vehicle would have been partially hidden among the trees at the end of the trail, and the perpetrator would have managed to escape the attention of two adults outside and three children inside. He would have cajoled or perhaps coerced Summer to come with him, which would be easier because she was familiar with the person. Let me add that I firmly believe, based on evidence provided by Candace and Don Wells themselves, that Summer was a severely abused and neglected child. The parents are not credible, and there are holes in their stories and an abundance of red flags. But did they hide, sell, or kill their child? Statistically, they are among the top suspects. We just don't know. And just a reminder, this is all speculation for the sake of discussion, and at this point, law enforcement has neither named a suspect or eliminated anyone as a suspect. Feel free to discuss your own thoughts in the comments. Thank you for listening.